Anyway, the next topic, we're going to end with your topic because we've just been going off of like these sort of silly whatever
and
bullshit things.
And we usually end with serious topics.
Yeah, typically. I mean, last week was sort of comic book series, so, you know.
That's incredibly serious. Read Why the Last Man.
So, we're just talking about Harry Potter and whatnot. And so, my next topic, you know, I'm a Harry Potter fanboy, I guess.
Wait, you are?
I guess. So, what I want to talk about is our fanboys and sort of the idea of a fanboy and sort of defining what a what fanboy, means. Because I was thinking about it. Because to me, fanboy means, you are blind to any criticism that, whatever it is you're a fanboy of, could have, right? And so that's why I was thinking, I was like, am I really a fanboy of anything? Because, I love Harry Potter, but even in the books themselves, there are mistakes that I'm like, yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, I don't agree with the way she ended the series.
But didn't you hear? Draco swaggered.
Oh, fuck. And then, there's also, Star Wars. Even the original trilogy, I'm like, oh, they could have... There are plenty of flaws. I was thinking about it.
Except for Empire Strikes Back. Flawless movie. He thinking.
I'm thinking.
Boba Fett flies a giant nose. That's not a mistake. That's innovation.
That's a selling point.
I would have to watch that one again because I feel like there probably is. I just can't think of anything. So, I just want to sort of talk about the ideas of being a fanboy and if it's a bad thing or if it's just a thing we have to live with and what are some of the worst sort of fanboys groups that we sort of know. So I don't know.
I mean, I already know a bunch of terrible fan bases.
List them off for me.
You got Bronies.
Undertale.
Hey, shut up.
Hey, it's true.
Hey, shut up.
Undertale fans, Homestuck fans, Steven Universe fans are really awful.
Yeah.
Seriously,
it's all of the pathos/bathos based fans that kind of suck.
The bathosphere?
Yeah.
There's some other fan bases that are real. 21 Pilots fans are the worst.
Can't stand them. They're everywhere in San Diego, man.
Sometimes smaller fan bases can be really bad too. Tool fans are usually giant assholes.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who loves Tool.
Their band name is called Tool. It's in the name.
Hey, I like Tool.
Yeah, no, Tool's good, but as you said, their dedicated fan bases can be terrible.
I mean, yeah, hardcore fan bases, and that's the weird thing is when I was growing up, I was sort of in that mindset with Blink-182. I didn't see any flaws with Blink-182, and the weird thing is I felt the fan base for Blink-182 was actually pretty they're pretty chill.
Yeah, because they don't take it seriously.
Compared to a lot of other pop punk fan bases, they're very comparatively moderate and a lot better.
Yeah, a lot of pop punk fan bases are very it's turning into sort of hardcore scenes, Or
yeah,
it's fucking don't be a pussy. Fucking girls suck. And
straight edge, one of the worst.
Yeah.
Especially because do they not realize how hypocritical it is to be we don't like addiction, we don't do anything that we can get addicted to, and then they all get tattoos. And tattoos are super addictive.
Yeah.
I know this because I have one and I want way more.
Yeah.
Also because you just said when you were a kid. When you were in Cleveland, do you remember anyone wearing shirts like these?
Yes, DX. Holy shit.
D-Generation X.
Holy fuck. Yeah, I remember that in middle school.
Metal Militia fanboy.
Yeah, they're one of the most classic wrestling stables and they were the definition of middle schoolers flipping you off and going, "Suck it." That was their catchphrase.
Oh Jesus!
Wrestling in the late 90s was weird because it was massive.
Yeah. I remember being
D-Generation X.
I remember being in elementary school and middle school, and almost everybody I knew were just, super into wrestling, and I just never understood it. I never got it.
Yeah, and it was always they all had DX shirts. Or
and I don't want to talk shit, but I think it's also because I didn't have
Isn't that the show?
Super.
Huh? Isn't that the show?
What?
You say you didn't want to talk shit.
I don't know
what you're saying.
But like, I think it's because like I don't come from a super masculine background, you know. Like my dad is very.
Hey, your dad dunks on you. That's pretty masculine.
Yeah, but you know,
your ball.
My dad's just like he's chill. He's a fucking hippie and whatnot. So like I was never raised in that fucking like fucking wrestling. You know?
Well, neither was I.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
I enjoy it because I find it relaxing.
I think those people just end up being really into NFL.
And then hit their wives.
Hey, so do a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Some wrestlers kill their wives and themselves.
Chris Benoit. But
See, I picked some things up.
and the most important wrestler of all time, it's the Boogeyman, and he's coming to get ya. I love that. That's the only wrestler you can immediately think of off the top of your head.
Because I remember the one time I ever watched wrestling was one where the Boogeyman came out from under the fucking thing. I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, the Boogeyman like gave kids nightmares.
He didn't give me nightmares, but I thought it was cool.
I wish I could do that. Just come under the mat.
See, I think
For fan bases. Going back from that weird tangent of DX shirts.
You're extremely right, though, because a lot of what it means to like be a fanboy is you deflect any criticism.
Exactly.
Like, even if it's correct and constructive criticism, you'll deflect it and be like, no, there's nothing wrong with this at all.
I can't think of anything where I'm like that with it.
just hate everything and then die. That's just
that's us.
That's the message of this entire show.
Bang bang.
That's the point. We're done.
There are things I'm definitely like a huge fan of. Like you know that I love the Mountain Goats. I love Ratchet and Clank. I love the Transformers.
Yeah, I would say like, but even that, like I was about to say the Wonder Years, but like even the newer Wonder Years album, I'm like, it's not the greatest generation.
And their first album.
And their very first album, which is what is it called?
Get
stoked on it? Yeah.
I wanted to say Get Your Suck On It. Which is what I want to name every album from now on.
Spelled SUCC.
Suck.
I guess the one thing
Bob
like I'm
Dylan?
like Bob Dylan is the closest thing where I'm like
His new singing voice.
what?
His new singing voice.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like he's not that great now.
But you still love his songwriting.
I still do love it. So yeah, even like, but I would say that that's the closest thing I can like.
He's never written like a book.
There's been books written about him.
But I mean, like, I want Bob Dylan to write like a novel.
Oh, like a fiction?
Yeah, because like John Darnielle wrote a novel.
That would be really cool. If he starts one now, he'll probably die before he finishes it. Though.
Leonard Cohen has a bunch of books on poetry, and they're really good.
I want to watch
Velvet Underground, another one for you.
But see, even like the Velvet Underground, that album, right? Like,
and Nico, that one.
No, the second one. The second one.
The third one. The second one was like White Light, White Heat.
I always forget about White Light, White Heat. It's because I don't have it on my phone.
And also, it's like it doesn't fit in as much with the other ones.
Because it's like 4 songs, and then like the last one's like 17 minutes, so it doesn't feel.
Yeah,
like,
Sister Ray.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like an album.
And also,
it feels more like an EP.
Also, it's the only one that's really punk in a lot of ways. The other 3 are a lot like nicer.
Yeah, or like the I would say Underground and Nico is like sort of more avant-garde, and then White Light, White Heat is a little more punk, and then
it goes
the self-titled one. The self-titled one is more of like dream pop. I think that's where a lot of current Arctic Monkeys got their inspiration from. And
the very Lou Reed sound.
And then Loaded would be like, I would say like
straight like rock, pop rock.
Yeah, exactly.
So and like that's the best one to show people if you're just like, here's the Velvet Underground.
Exactly.
Like check this out. You've heard
that's
Sweet
the most
Jane.
accessible album. Yeah. So I would
Suitcase in my hand.
Oh God! Whenever that plays in our store, I get so fucking excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm jazzed now. So yeah, there's like nothing where I can be like, I can't hear any of this. You know, it's just interesting.
Nothing wrong.
What do you guys have where it's like maybe that's a possibility where I'm a fanboy, but maybe not? Like, what do you guys have?
Maybe the Mountain Goats. Because I really, really love the Mountain Goats.
You fucking love the Mountain Goats.
But at the same time, I've never really heard anyone criticize them. So,
I mean, it's because like I don't feel like the Mountain Goats have a lot of.
They're not as big.
They're not super big, so I feel like the people who know about the Mountain Goats just really like them, you know? So, and it's like...
I do have a problem with the Mountain Goats fan base because I always dislike super devoted fan bases.
Dogmatic people.
Yeah, like the Mountain Goats are really bad with that. Like the worst possible example will always be Neutral Milk Hotel for this year. Like, this is religious music for me. And it's like, nah, dude, it's just a guy with a beard going, Jesus Christ. The Front Bottoms are getting like that. I really hate Front Bottoms fans.
I've always hated Front Bottoms.
Yeah,
because they're the most like, look at me, I'm quirky. Me and my boyfriend are gonna dress up like ghosts and make out in a supermarket.
Oh, I'm quirky and I'm sad and
look at this. I make artwork and look, it's a Front Bottoms lyric.
We wear barrels.
It's like
go to the farmer's market.
It's because the Front Bottoms are starting to make more accessible music, right? Like their first two albums were like very specific, and then
are you counting their not? So
no,
just self-titled and Talon of the Hawk?
Yeah, like those two are very like specific, and like the first one is very sad, and then the second one is anger, and then this one is more of like happy. And I feel like since happiness is a more accessible emotion for more people, then a lot of people were able to be like, oh yeah, I can jump on this bandwagon, you know? So I feel like
love of my life.
Like those people, I don't really even consider Front Bottoms fans. I feel like I consider them like you're bandwagoners because the Front Bottoms are, you know, more accessible. They were on a fucking
poppy now.
They were on a fucking late show and played one of their songs.
Like people who got into 21 Pilots after Stressed Out.
Exactly. I fucking
triggered.
God, fucking 21 Pilots. I remember when
only two of
Ricky and I went to that Fall Out Boy concert and no one knew who the fuck they were. No one.
What?
Yeah, this was 3 years ago.
What?
Yeah. This was right before they got huge, and they got huge because of that tour where they were touring with Fall Out Boy and B-Rate Fall Out Boy.
Panic at the Disco.
And so they're touring with them,
and
then they like fucking shot like out of the fucking roof after that tour because they were touring with like two very like similar pop bands.
I think like the first song that
sounded like
them...
I said Papa bands. Papa bands.
Papa bands.
Papa bands.
You mean Cheap Trick? The first song that really popped them like into the second layer of stardom was when they released House of Gold.
Yeah, that was their big like,
and
because he has a ukulele in that song.
And like it was easy for people to
ukuleles.
It was, dude. I went on a rant about ukuleles in Ashland, and then the next play we saw, someone was playing a ukulele.
Did you just leave? God damn it!
No, apparently the entire time, like Miss Wally was just like, "Oh, Henry." But like, it was easy for like, I dedicate this song to my girlfriend. I'm gonna sing this at a talent show, House of Gold.
Yep.
And then Stressed.
Even though that song is about his mother, which is really weird.
Yeah.
And then Stressed Out came out.
Oedipus Complex.
Stressed Out came out, which was a huge hit, and now they have a song on a 21 Pilot soundtrack, which is kind of perfect because there's did I say 21 Pilot soundtrack? Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
which is perfect because that's exactly the kind of trash they belong in. I really hate like any of the like teenagers who are like, we are proud of we're different kind of music. Like Panic at the Disco fans really bother me. Pierce the Veil.
Falling in Reverse.
Oh dear God, Falling in Reverse. Don't remind me of Falling in Reverse.
How can I not?
Fall in Reverse.
White boy on the track wearing Gucci sneaks.
Fuck.
Everyone knows the only good band in history is Attila.
Or, as Elias likes to call them, horrid.
Oh, this is horrid. Yeah.
Dance, gang, dance.
Hey.
This is horrid.
How's it go?
So...
Elias, kind.
Fuck, I was about to say something else about fan bases and shit.
I feel like this is our third topic about fan bases, but it's always fun to make fun of them.
It's just like grinding.
I think we've had like more specific sort of topics about like, oh, let's talk about like this specific thing, and then we talk about like their fan base. I don't think we've really talked about it in a general scope of things.
I wonder if we're going to get in any trouble for me saying this, but any fan base that gets kind of taken over by like a kind of like social justice kind of mentality.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like always,
you guys are fucking dumb.
Like when people started being like, here's Undertale, by the way, Sans' non-binary, pansexual.
It's like, why are you defining these things?
Force
that,
it?
like, did the creator say that? No.
He's literally some pixels. You know what his sexuality is? It's
Yeah, that's sort of just like when you try to if you want to identify with that character, that's fine.
like
But,
if you want to be like, here's my headcanon, this is what he is, that's fine. But if you're like, this is my headcanon and
now it's real.
and everyone is like, and you're like, everyone has to accept this, or you're like getting rid of characters.
It's
like,
a weird thing of expression of individualism and like force projecting your own identity onto another character.
Exactly. A fictional
super
fucking character.
forcibly. Yeah.
it was really weird for me when people started doing that with Star Wars.
Yeah.
After Force Awakens, because it's like, I'm like yeah,
Oh, the whole fucking
like, hey, Finn and Poe are gay. Definitely, if you don't.
All right.
I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm fine with that.
I mean, like I think that's the thing is people who are in fan bases like make big deals about shit. And
Yeah.
I think with the Finn and Poe thing, like that would be cool, but it's like
I really
don't make a fucking big deal about it.
I hate the Tumblr Harry Potter fandom.
I mean, that's why I left.
I hate a lot of
That is
Tumblr,
straight
a
up,
lot of
like,
things
why
fandom.
I left
Because
I saw that shit. The first hint of like I saw that shit, I was like, all right, I'm out.
Because
I'm
like
fucking out.
Harry Potter fans are like the most like obsessive over every detail. Like you can pull up any sentence from any of the books and they'll be like, no, but if you look at this sentence, it really reveals why Hagrid was the most important character in Harry's life. And it's like, I don't give a fuck. If you want to read the books, that's cool. They're good books, but like, shut up.
You know what's really weird with Star Wars and most of these fandoms as well is like when they start doing the kin shit. Where I saw some statement. I think
you're
it was
not Jedi-kin?
no, not even just Jedi kin, just like specific character kin. Where people are just
Poe-kin?
like, I would appreciate it if you would stop saying these things about Poe because I identify as Poe-kin and therefore it is appropriation. That just like, I got an ulcer from that
If I could identify as
sentence.
Oscar Isaac, I would.
Okay.
Right? No, I identify as his X-wing.
I want to table this conversation maybe
He's in
for.
me.
I want to table this conversation maybe for next week for a topic that I've sort of had sort of kicking around in my head of
Eating
whether
ass, yes?
sort of political correctness.
Askin.
And I think we'll table that for maybe next week. Okay.
That's a good segue though for his topic.